Friends, how are you doing? I hope everyone is well. I really do mean that. What a super duper week in the market. Let's get right into it here. So, obviously I don't want to bore anybody, but we've had a week here in the market that has been up and down. And, last week we had a really banging week with Big Bear. This week, not so great, but still holding some good ground. And I will argue with that too. We've had a good week with Big Bear because, they wrapped up 2 more partnerships this week. I mean, that's good. That's huge. We were just dealing with issues with volume, with the stock running, the stock getting back over even a $4 position here. There's been a huge wall been built here, but I'm staying positive, staying confident in that. Obviously, we'll get into that, but Palantir this week. I mean, just an unbelievable week here with Palantir. So try to, let's mix all this up here and pour it out and make some pancakes with it. I've said this before, but the conversation around Palantir and Big Bear are generally hand in hand at this point. These, you've got Palantir, the big brother here, big brother, and then you got little bitty Big Bear here, who is, in this new world with eyes with investors. It's 6 months ago no one knew who Big Bear was. They didn't know what it was, and now it's the talk of the town. It's one of the new hottest AI stocks out there, and everyone's paying attention to it. Now obviously there are some issues with Big Bears, mainly some older issues that are still lingering until we get some stronger finances come out here, with quarterlies, more deals, big deals. But the last 6 months too have been the best news around Big Bear, with deals and moving up in share price, volume, quarterly, all that. So one thing that we're seeing right now, and this goes with both of these stocks, but one thing you're seeing is that, when you're buying Palantir and you're buying Big Bear right now, the conversation obviously is that these, the bread and butter of these stocks, they're software companies, they're AI stocks. So two, they're AI, but the big thing too with that is that a lot of the meat, that's on the rib cage here, the meat on the bone here, with these two companies, the meat is essentially a lot of these defense deals that they have, okay? So that's the juicy meat here that people are enjoying with Big Bear and with Palantir. Now, obviously, Palantir has, put its tentacles out there and a lot more deals that have come to it, and really pushed out into more new ground here with companies, partnerships, ground, deals like that. But Big Bear, I think it's safe to say that generally no one would care about Big Bear if it wasn't getting these defense deals. Okay, these defense deals, and obviously these new deals that we've seen this week, they're keeping people curious. They're keeping people going like, okay, well, we might actually have something here by the end of the year. When we get to Q3, Q4, we might see some big turnaround here with Big Bear. So let's just go right into Big Bear here and kind of just stay on focus with one of them each, and talk about what's going on here. So friends, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate everyone listening to me yap here and kind of, what I see. I truly believe that if you're investing, you can't do this alone. You shouldn't do it alone. You should be listening to a lot of people talk about, what they think, their positions and things, and, what they see. Because everyone has a little bit of tidbit of information, things they see that I don't see, I see that somebody else doesn't see. And that's, we're trying to win against the market here. That's what we're trying to do. We're all in this for the same reason here. So Big Bear is in this place, like we've talked about, 1, 2, 3 push-ups here. This week we have been struggling here. We hit $4 for a moment here this week, and then since then we have been, if you're short trading Big Bear this week, you've probably made a ton of money if you've been trading in and out of this 370 zone to 390 zone. Big Bear it's been allowing investors to really just get this, essentially 20-cent push on almost every day this week here. So it's been a heck of a day for short selling in Big Bear, and that's what investors have been doing with it. Too, with that, right now, obviously with this talk about all the stuff that's going on in the Middle East, defense deals. What does this look like? What is it going to continue to look like? Now, we're talking about Palantir and Big Bear being wrapped up in already defense here. Are they going to get more out of, with the government, with defense deals? And I think obviously they will. We know Palantir essentially is. Palantir is like, it's at the front of the helm here. Like it's leading, it's following, it's going right where the administration is wanting it to go. Now, Big Bear, like I said before, I don't think a lot of people would be here if Big Bear hadn't already gotten these defense contracts. And what makes Big Bear so juicy still, and I've said this before, I know I sound like a broken record, but it's God's honest truth, is that Big Bear's already here, man. Like, Big Bear's here. Big Bear has already gotten multiple defense contracts. So there is no reason why they could not get another one, maybe just a little one, maybe a really nice one, or maybe just one big juicy one. And that would change a lot here with Big Bear, and that would significantly hike the price up here. And it would essentially tell us, like, hey, we're going to be able to pay off a lot of debt this year, which the company should do. We're going to probably hit some groundbreaking quarterlies revenue this year, and it would put Big Bear in this whole new light and trust with investors, bigger money. And two, you're seeing these articles come out now that are so positive for Big Bear. I mean, like, the conversation is really changing out there with Big Bear, where Wall Street's starting to look at it. And two, it's because of, I mean, it sounds awful, I get it, but when you're investing, listen, if you are an investor, you have found this thing in life that a lot of people don't push into, they don't know about. It's just this little doorway that you can peek into in life, and you can make money from it. And that's the stock market. And there's certain stocks like Palantir and like Big Bear here that could honestly, they could get a lot more deals off of what's going on right now with defense, with all this defense, the Golden Dome, what's going on right now, Israel, all that. We could see contracts really be pushed up here. So with that, this is a moment where it's very interesting to look at Big Bear. Big Bear's still very affordable to the average investor, okay? And this is why I do think that there is a smell out there with Big Bear where big money is looking at it, whether to squeeze it, to push it to where they want it to go, or to buy it and hold on to it for greener grass here by the end of the year. Nonetheless, I think it's pretty obvious at this point we're going to get a really good quarterly this year. At some point this year, Big Bear is going to achieve a good quarterly. Now, I think it's going to follow suit something like SoundHound did last year, and we really didn't see SoundHound come out with like a groundbreaking quarterly until Q3, then Q4 of last year. But I think we're going to put in some more time here, obviously, but short term here for Big Bear shooting back up into a $4 range here. Listen, I think that Big Bear obviously is locked and loaded here. It's just waiting for volume. It's just waiting for investors to keep pushing here. And we've seen this time and time again. Last week when Big Bear was playing around this, $3.90, $4.10, $4.05, there was 2 days in a row where it just went from 4 to 420, then 4 to 445. So we've had these moments of just these little baby squeezes here. So I'm very aware and optimistic that we will continue to see these pressure points be touched here, where Big Bear will just go, it will jump back up here. So I still think, and I know people are getting impatient. I know people are going like, trust me, I see all the hate. I see all the positive. I see all the negative. I see all the neutral conversation. But I still think with everything that is going on right now with the world in general, with the change in the world, everything that's going on, defense and AI are going to be the biggest stocks to be a part of the next 4 years, and probably the next 4 years after that. I don't say that against any of the administrations. I just say that I don't know that it matters anymore. I think the world is just in a different place in AI technology, space race, who is foe, who is friend. And right now, the main thing that everyone's fighting for is space, AI, and defense. And right now, Palantir and Big Bear are very much in those realms right now. So it's something that I do think everyone should continue to pay attention to. But when you do look at this week, the lowest that we dealt with this week was, Big Bear. It stayed in the 360 zone, 3 high 60 zone. Okay, but that was the lowest we would go this week, and we're still holding this 370, 380 perfect zone. So listen, I still think we're in good range here with Big Bear to push up back into $4. I think Big Bear is just waiting for a moment here. I really do, and I think I'm not worried at the moment. I'm not worried. I think it's still going to push here. In the market is. Listen, I'm on the Dan Ives, Tom Lee, Kathy Woods bus. Like I'm on it 100%. I think the market's going to continue to do well this year. I really do. There was so many analysts, there were so many people that were saying the market should be in shambles right now. We should be in recession, all this kind of stuff, and it's so far from the truth of what we're seeing right now. It's just not happening. It's just not happening. The investors are wanting to push. Investors are buying. People are buying the market right now. The S&P is right back up in 6,000 point range. So we're breaking records essentially. So going right into Palantir, I mean, essentially, that word essentially, that's one of my favorite words right now. We have hit 140. I mean, we were just shy. We're going to round it up that we've pretty much hit 140 here with Palantir. So we've hit 140. I said this, man, what was it, like 3-4 weeks ago? I said, hey, Palantir is going to 140, and we're pretty much at 140 at this point. My stopping point to where I think Palantir is going before Q2 here, which is 50 some days away here. I haven't looked, but it's in August, the beginning of August. We're going to have Q2 here of Palantir, and it will probably more than not be another banging quarterly, which it should, because there's going to be a lot of deals attached to that Q2 that were not on Q1 here. So it should be bigger. How big is the question? But Palantir, I do think Palantir more than likely will hit a wall here. I think that it will break into 140 here sooner than later, and like it did in the 130, it will start chipping away. There will be a push to 143, 144, 145. Major sell-off. Something will happen with a sell-off, and then we will see another strike back up. But getting into August, I do think that we could be in 150, 155 zone here with Palantir. And if we are, my stupid little sheet was right the whole time, where I was saying that Big Bear was going to go to, Palantir was going to go to 150 here by summer. So I don't think 150 is out of the question. And yes, for the people writing in the comments, yes, overvalued, overpriced for what it is right now. I get it, but it's what is attached to it. It's what you're buying into for the futures, what it's tied up with right now. There's so much positive aspect to what Palantir and what it's offering right now. I think to me, Palantir should scare people to not be a part of it at any price right now. At any price. And I say any price right now because to me, when I look at Palantir, I don't look at Palantir and go like, oh, man, I think Palantir is really going to struggle around 160, 170. I'm looking at Palantir right now and I go, I think this is just going to be what Palantir is going to do here until we see some sort of pushback in the quarterlies. But it will have to be a significant pushback in the quarterlies. Even if they just have another quarterly that's another 40% gain on top of the last one. The expectation is so high of what Palantir is offering investors right now. So I say all that to say that, when I look at Palantir, I'm looking 5 years down the road. I'm looking 2 years even down the road, where I go like, there could honestly be a stock split with Palantir here. There could be, massive opportunities that we cannot even fathom right now with Palantir. There could be partnerships with Palantir that we do not even see coming here with large AI tech stocks. So, yeah, like I said, I think, there's people that want to be doom and gloom. There's people that want to bet against a lot of these things, and I get it, but like I said, I am more on the positive train here. I only listen. I did that for a year or two where I would just talk about stocks that like I thought were going to do terrible and not do good. I don't do that anymore. I don't talk about companies that I think are not gonna make you money, that are not gonna do anything, okay, that are boring, that are just gonna sit there and make investors poor. I'm not gonna talk about those stocks anymore. I'm not gonna make those doom and gloom videos because people don't want to hear it. The majority of people, there's a reason why I don't talk about Fubo anymore. There's other companies too. I just don't. That's why I don't talk about a lot of EV companies, because or cannabis stocks, because it's so risky with a lot of those. But Palantir, I mean, it is the ultimate play right now with everything attached to it. Listen, Trump came out and said Palantir was going to essentially be the leading company with the government. It was a very broad statement. We don't even really know what money is attached to this, what it looks like, but it undoubtedly, it will be a huge situation for Palantir nonetheless. So I don't know. Is it crazy to say that Palantir could be at $200 by the end of the year? I don't know, man. I don't think it is. I really don't think it is. The big question is the race to them getting to $1 billion quarterly by the end of this year, to me, is more of the harder situation. Can they make $1 billion quarterly by the end of the year? That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Friends, I will talk to you this weekend, and I will have a better analyst thought process of other stocks, what's going on, maybe talk about these guys again too. But I want to thank you so much for being here, listening to me yap. I think next week is going to be great in the market. I really do. Obviously, I'm hoping for Big Bear to pick up the steam next week, get the fire raging a little more here. But all in all, I'm in love with both these stocks. I still think they're offering investors so much. And I try to look at the futures of where the stock market's going, of where technology is going. And I think too, and here I go again, I'm not shutting up, but this is one reason why, like, I love Cathie Woods for that reason too. I love that Cathie Woods, ARK Investment, if you know Cathie Woods, it's not even so much Cathie Woods of her individual, ETFs, her ARK Investment, all that. I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about how Cathie talks about how she looks for opportunities in the market, whether it be crypto, whether it be the stocks. It's what is 5-10 years going to look like? What are we seeing tidbit little information right now that's pushing towards these directions right now? And what Palantir, even Big Bear, is in this conversation, what they offer technology-wise, software-wise, we have to look at that and go with the massive growth that it is giving right now. Is this going to be a situation that continues over the next years? If it is, investors are going to reap the benefits of this. It's amazing. I'm amazed when people don't invest in the stock market. If you're here, it's because you found this opportunity in life that other people didn't see, this niche. It's amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. Friends, I wish you all luck. I will talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.